I am Doomsvince, and this is day 186 of Spawn Year.
This series has really lost me in the last couple days. I'm still enjoying it more than I was under McFarlane's pen alone. I like Spawn's new boldness, but I question his methods, and I like that Hogwin seems to be setting the stage to finally get at the core of Spawn's role in the Celestial battle. And now that Spawn doesn't spend all his time coming up with new dull ways to not do anything with his time, Capullo gets more interesting things to draw, and the art has felt more energetic along with the more forward-moving narrative ever since the Ghost of Kincaid arc. The trouble is, this issue keeps telling me things Hogwin seems to think he's previously shown me about Spawn's new independent, hell-free status, and I feel like I'm right back to those days not so long ago where things would happen in the story for no real rhyme or reason. I wouldn't really understand what I was looking at, but it looked cool, and then later there would be this radical interpretation of those events that would make them totally essential to the larger narrative. And often it felt like a connotation added in hindsight rather than the plan all along. These issues include a plot summary of the previous issue inside the front cover, and more than a few times I've read one of those the next day and thought, oh, so that's what that issue was about. Sometimes these comics make me think I'm not paying close enough attention, but I suspect that more often it's that they aren't explicit enough in implying what they expect me to infer. Here we find Spawn still playing judge, jury, and firing squad as he gets a confession out of a real judge for financially supporting an underground child pornography studio. He had no idea that people supplying the tapes for his despicable hobby were actually using his money to make the videos. But that doesn't change that he made it possible and derived pleasure from it. At least this time, Spawn's victim, though his actions were deplorable, seems like a real person, detached from his sense of decency by his profession, and at least I know the extent of his crimes before Spawn sentences him to death by his own gun. I'm not really sure why Spawn wanted a confession if he was going to kill him anyway. He's never done that before. Anyway, even though I had no idea this was happening when Spawn left the alleys, Spawn has found a way, consciously, to rid himself of Malbolgia's curse. Despite Hell's best efforts, he doesn't have to fight in their army when the time comes now if he doesn't want to. They can't take his power from him, which I guess is now unlimited and maybe replenished by the suit, I'm just guessing, and he's decided Earth is his realm now. Yep, Spawn is now the self-proclaimed undisputed ruler of the world. Maybe making a deal with the devil is a world domination strategy that Brain should have tried. It's working out for Spawn. The devil, the real one, I think, he says Bolgi is a flea to him, so that's all that makes sense, lures him to Cog's basement repository of Hellspawn stuff. Hey, I wonder if Cog has the Spawn game for Game Boy down there, and tells him the fun's over, but it's time to quit running away from home and do what the more powerful cosmic entity says. Spawn says, this world and its shadows belong to me now. From now on, men shall answer to their own conscience, and when they will not, they shall answer to me. Sounds like the preamble to the Declaration of Spawn Dependence. Okay, so he's made a choice, he's owning his power now, he's going his own way and taking himself off heaven and hell's chessboard, and it seems like maybe he's decided since he can't win, no matter how he plays a situation and people keep getting hurt, he's above morality, maybe even sees himself as the decider of morality, and perhaps that's why he's still murdering the guilty but without remorse now. This issue makes it clear that when the Simmons ghost said Spawn isn't a man, he took that to heart. He is an unrelatable force of nature now, and while I don't know if that can possibly make for a good protagonist in the long run, I like it better than an inconsistent hero the book thinks is the same guy issue to issue, but really isn't. But I don't understand how he broke Hell's hold over him. Nothing he's done lately seems like that's what I was witnessing. Satan calls him clever for doing this. What did he do? Wasn't the idea that Spawn had to help Hell willingly, that they never had complete control of him in the first place? I still don't see what's changed. Spawn tells Satan he's figured out his dirty secret, that Hell needs him, not the other way around. I'm not sure when he figured that out. What am I missing? So all he had to do this whole time was say no deal and Hell's plans fall apart? The Spawn's never been cooperative. It's like the book needed a big turning point, so now poof, there's a turning point. Malbolge is totally the crappy strategist I thought he was. Satan even admits that Bolge made a slanted deal with Spawn because he gets off on that sort of thing and that he prefers straightforward agreements, offering him whatever he wants in return for his loyalty. Wanda, a planet of Wandas, whatever. So I guess we've also dropped that thread about Wanda being really important for some reason too now. It's too bad Satan didn't know how important Spawn was supposed to be from the beginning, or I have to assume he didn't, or he wouldn't have used Bolge, who's obviously as incompetent as Violator. So Spawn puts Satan in his place and puts his own mark on Satan's head, warding him off with an angelic staff, conveniently as Angela herself suddenly shows up back in town. Wow, Satan picked a really dumb place to meet. Angela at the end sums up my feelings about the series as soon as Hogwin came aboard. It's about time things got interesting around here. Hogwin continues exploring the theme of a person defined by their actions, but I don't think that extends to cosmic deities. I mean, I could say I quit and that I'm the Silver Surfer, but that's not gonna get me the power cosmic and a surfboard so I can fly out of here. I just get buried alive in a grave filled with Spawn stuff. Signed, Captain Logan.